Hello, everybody. My name is Puppetine. I'm from the Geeky Puppet Show. Here on the Geeky Puppet Show today for Werewolf by Night, issue 1. Yes, thank you.
Howling good time is ahead.
Howling good time indeed. Yes, we're here for Werewolf by Night, and it's going to be quite a book. We are about ready to go ahead and get started, but we need to meet our cast. So to my side, he is playing Jack. He has stolen my thunder. Look at that, but that's okay. Werefrog by Night. Ribbit.
Ribbit and ribbit.
There we go. If you look over there, you can see him right there. He is Mr. Gruff Ickman.
Hey.
If you look below me, we're going to wait. No, not you.
She's every woman in the wind.
She is every woman in the world to us tonight, and it's Miranya. She hasn't heard that in quite some time.
I know I haven't. I've been voicing Ben Grimm for so long. I've almost forgotten how to do a female voice.
Miranya, I can hear her.
But it hasn't been long enough that the tree has died, so it's still there.
It's still there. It's hanging on by a little thread.
Miranya, please turn on the wind sound effects.
You're just in time indeed. What do you mean? That wind is nice and spooky.
It's very spooky. It sounds like thunder.
Is it off now?
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Finally, right there in the corner, playing the best
friend.
friend.
Come back to the readings.
That's right.
I've been here.
He's been here.
I've been the Human Torch for the last month.
Speaking of people stealing my roles.
You have dinner rolls?
Oh, I wish.
That
but that's enough. Now in his own mag, Werewolf by Night. Sheesh, this whole place is dull city, baby.
Yeah, I sure wish something would happen. Anything.
Full moon rise, werewolf kill.
There's a full moon on the right.
Oh, look at the little doggy.
I eat him later.
That's the appetizer.
No.
That's the appetizer.
That's right. Werewolf by Night, Eye of the Beholder.
I felt fear in my life. Gut-clenching terror. Moments when I sensed my very life slipping away. Yet never as intense as this. Never so cold. So brutal. With a glance, the mutant girl, I'm turning into Zach. Damn Rudy's, had turned my limbs to stone. My nerves and my muscles to lifeless ice. And yet, through some nightmarish twist,
Dun, dun, dun.
the page finally turned. I still thought, Lord in heaven, help me. I could still think.
Stanley presents Jerry Conway scripter Mike
Plug.
Plug? It's Plug? Who the hell allows your name to be Plug? Mike.
Maybe it's like a author's name, a pen name.
John Costa, letterer. Frank Monte, inker. Irving Forbush, stonecutter. What? Roy Thomas, editor.
Yeah, Roy Thomas.
Stonecutter.
Stone. I become a statue, as motionless as the others who decorated the garden path. Others I'd seen brief hours before, but hadn't recognized as men. just as I wouldn't be recognized as something which once breathed, walked, lived. I was frightened terribly, so, and in my fear, turned to my memories.
Memories.
I recalled how I had arrived at Blackgar's private island, searching for Zach, because I knew he wouldn't be there, for a book called The Darkhold, or Darkhold, whichever you preferred.
Forgot about that book.
Which was rightfully mine, not Scarlett Johansson's, or not Emily Olsen.
The other Scarlett.
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson.
Inheritance from my natural father. Yes, I have a natural father, not a normal one. My father, a European scholar, an aristocrat, and more, a warlock and a werewolf, who now dead, had left me another inheritance as well.
Kitty litter.
He left me an annoying puppet above me. The curse of a werewolf born. Funny,
Dun, dun, dun.
the curse seemed unimportant just then. And yet it hadn't been the curse which had brought me here or there.
Everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man. To recover the Darkhold from Miles Blackgar, who needs a better name than Plug. Who bought my father's castle and had it shipped from Europe to America's western coast. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. Let's ship that thing.
Yep.
Miles Blackgar, whose daughter was a mutant, Gorgon, whose eyes had made me stone. She's the one I must kill. She who keeps me from the forest.
Bitch.
All right.
I just want a frog in the woods, that bitch. Then something odd began to occur. A wave of heat swelled over me, melting the ice in my veins. Hello, Gratu. My head spun. Something had caught at my stomach and pulled it, cut through me, releasing me, and suddenly I saw the sun. It was the sun rising.
Is it the House of the Rising Sun?
I swayed my knees and ignored Zach's horrible puns. Trembling, giving away, I must have passed out. That choke was so bad, it made me pass out. But the next thing I knew.
This is me.
Yes, you.
Okay. Jack! Good Lord, boy! What in heaven's name? Are you all right, Jack?
Not so loud. Feels like a train's roaring through my skull. Give me just a second to catch my breath.
Sure, kid. Take your time. Easy. Wouldn't want to hurt those abs.
Have you seen my shirt?
That's a weird finger on that one's shoulder.
That is it's a pixel finger.
Hey!
I looked all over this place for you, Jack. How?
Didn't I tell you, Buck? I'm a master of disguise.
Come on, Jack. Be serious. You had me worried, boy.
Quit calling me boy. I'm
And
white.
for an old pin pusher like Buck Cohen, that's quite a triumph. Feel up to walking, Mr. Russell?
A little, Mr. Cohen. At least as far as the house.
You mean you found it? You found the Darkhold?
Briefly. Yep. I don't see yup.
Well, I'll be.
My heart was still racing when we reached the library, but then I figured an answer to why I wasn't still stoned. In some way, I couldn't understand the metamorphosis from the beast to human had broken Marlene's spell, freeing me. Got the book, friend. A story for you. Maybe some clues for me.
Quiet, kid. Someone's coming.
We slipped into the shadows outside the library. My naked flesh pressed against Buck.
No, it's not that kind of book. No.
I could feel Buck's breath on my neck. Hot. His short, fierce gas. Oh no! Like something passed us in the darkness. Was framed against a touch of dawn. Cold. What a blackguard's freaks.
Rude.
Buck was scared. I could sense it, and I wondered how much more frightened he'd be if he knew my secret. Together, we went to the window and blinked at the courtyard below.
Holding hands.
This is where Blackguard I fell, yeah. But look,
Oh,
Buck, someone's moved his beat.
Jack, to the left. The patio.
Gone? What do you mean the book's gone? I saw it in the library only an hour ago. It must be there, you fool.
I looked. It was sure enough, it was a Marlene.
Not Moon Knight's Marlene.
Damn it, Frenchie. Couldn't remember the he.
Oh,
With one of the freaks and something else. Wheelchair. General Mortis! Dear
Oh,
God.
no.
I listened for what seemed like 50 minutes. Was only a 5-minute sentence.
that's you.
That's Strug.
Not there, Strug looked. Only scent. Scent like before when Strug killed Garth.
Sant.
Not a scent. A scent.
She whirled, stared down the path to the garden. Her shoulders seemed to tighten.
So, our friend's escaped, has he? How unfortunate for our dear Mr. Jack Russell Terrier. How very, very unfortunate for him.
Woof.
Woof
Wow,
indeed.
wow.
Woo!
I heard that tone before. It was usually in the bedroom, but not like this. But not in Marlene, though. No, with someone other girl. But in her father. Just before I tagged him as a werewolf. Hey.
Shouldn't have had him in my bed.
It was the tone of madness. You hear that, Buck? That means we move now. As we raced toward the sheltered cove on the island's east shore, Buck explained how he twisted a few arms to power a seaplane. I barely heard him. My heart was pounding too loud. I also had no idea where my shoes were. My feet hurt. So many twigs and branches. The pilot stared at us as we ran up. Mainly because I had no shirt on. Hey. Buck silenced his questions. Zach kept laughing in the background. With a few curt words, we clambered above, and in another minute.
What are Kurt's words?
Kurt words?
Well, his last words, Courtney Love, that's his last words. We were off.
Now, Jack, I want you to start at the beginning and take your time. I got a feeling this will take a while.
You're the writer, Mr. Cohen. But if I were you, I'd get ready to take some notes. When I'm done, you might need them. And a bottle of Jack.
Why would I need you in a bottle?
Dear God. Just fly the plane, man. I finished the story 2 hours later, omitting the parts inserting my bestial alter ego.
Kid, you're a wonder. How'd I ever get tangled up with you anyway?
I assume the question's rhetorical, Mr. Cohen. Or do you? I have to remind you about a certain case of trespassing.
Ouch! Oh, let's forget all that, okay, Jack? Read anything interesting yet?
Nothing. It's Latin.
I'm just staring at it, looking for the pictures.
Let me see it. I used to study the classics in college. Ah, neat stuff you got here, Jack. Your old man was quite a scholar.
Philip Russell is one of the original anti-intellectuals. Better than my stepfather, Buck.
I think you read those backwards.
Oh, did I?
Yes,
Maybe?
but you did.
Oh, sorry. Take two. Better than my stepfather, Buck. Philip Russell is one of the original anti-intellectuals. Oh,
Why are you French all of a sudden, Buck? Ah. Guess that's why you sold your father's castle when your mother died, eh?
You got it, Buck. He always hated seeing Lisa and me. Oh, great!
What's wrong, Jack?
He said Lissa wrong.
I forgot the milk. I have cornflakes, but no milk. Lissa, my sister. She must be worried sick. Poor kid. She's always looked up to me. Really needs me. Now that Mom's gone.
You're never there? You'd better call her.
That's what I'm doing.
Well, I'm telling you to do it anyway.
And I'm way ahead of you, Buck. Come on, Lisa. Hun, be home. Lissa?
Jack, is it you? Are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. What about you?
I'm okay, Jack. I just need to see you, to talk to you.
Hey, is something wrong?
No, Jack, nothing's wrong. No, stepfather isn't here just now. We can talk. 2394 Venice Boulevard? Yes, I've got it, Jack. I'll be there in half an hour.
I hung up. As I glanced at Cohen, something nagged at the back of my mind. I couldn't figure it. The way she talked, it wasn't like Lissa.
She's coming over. You think that's wise?
You think I have a shot?
I wish I knew, friend. I only wish I knew.
I wish you'd shave those bloody mutton chops.
Perhaps if I'd known that Pixel or Puppetine or even Zach down there had a crush on my sister, I would have murdered them on sight. But then, what I know now, I had have done the things differently, in different orders. But how could I have guessed the scene in our Westwood home? How?
Dad, are you sure we...
None of that, young lady. Miss Blackgar has made everything quite clear. And I don't know why I cut you off.
Oh, it goes after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Precisely, Mr. Russell. We only wish to speak with your son and regain certain properties we think he may have taken.
You mean stolen?
That's a harsh word, Mr. Russell. And yet, if he did take the book we seek, naturally we will not seek to prosecute if your son will return it.
He will, Miss Blackgar. I promise you that. Jack's gotten a little big for himself lately. It's time he was taught a lesson in self-control. Lissa, you're going with them.
Because that's a bright idea, right?
A great idea.
Buck had worked his way through the 3/4 of a page, and my mind was whirling with implications of my father's diary when...
What in the name of purple heaven?
Mr. Sound Effect Guy?
Whoa.
Thank you very much. Buck! Look out!
Purple heaven, where Dazzler's going.
I just want to point out that I look like Steve Rogers, and that's Bucky.
Yep.
Cohen didn't listen. With an angry shout, he lunged at the charging freak. Fell to an offhand blow.
Ah!
There was so much
Crikey.
blood, I couldn't recognize him anymore.
He's dead, Jim.
He's already dead.
I was on my feet in an instant. Unlike the other guy, he was dead on the ground. I paused only a moment by the table, and then
Who was that speaking?
I guess you.
Lissa, I think.
Wait a minute. Is it Lissa or the other woman?
It's the other woman.
It's the other one.
Oh, wait, okay, let me get back.
I went back.
That's enough, Jack. I said that's enough.
Marlene!
Ah, you remember me, Jack. I'm flattered. We thought you'd forgotten us when you left so abruptly. Father, you remember Jack Russell Terrier, the boy who tried to kill you. Oh, you'll have to forgive him, Jack. He hasn't been the same since his nasty fall. His spine's crushed. He's paralyzed from the waist down. Now, be quite motionless unless you want your sister to be as helpless as my father. Jack, please forgive me. Dad forced me.
I'm a real son of a bitch.
Yes, you are.
I started to answer her, but before I could speak, the freak caught me from behind. He thought this was Brokeback Mountain.
Uh-oh. Ah, filial devotion is an odd thing, Jack. Before his accident, I despised my father, blaming him for my mutant eyes.
Your special eyes.
Yet now I want only to aid him by finding the book called The Darkhold and using it to restore his now crippled form. Why, Strug, he seems to have gone to sleep.
I want to point out that this seems really familiar. Is this Talia and Ra's al Ghul versus Batman?
Wow, and where are our organs, by the way?
I'm not looking at her organs.
I'm not looking at her organs
Yeah,
either.
you're not looking at those organs. Okay.
You're looking at two.
Those were the last words I heard, other than this dream needs a delicate flower. Like I woke hours later, outside the patio doors. I Love Comics was playing on the TV. I was scared. The sky was turning a dusky purple, or where was it just Dazzler? It was almost evening, almost night.
Nothing. Strug, are you sure you searched everywhere?
Strug looked. Only scent like before.
Yes, like before.
Scents are no good. It's not even $1.
She sighed and she shook her head. The last rays of sunlight glinted on her glasses, and I knew I had to escape before the transformation occurred. But as I started to my feet, the man who had once been Miles Blackguard twisted in his chair and blinked at me.
That's...
Perhaps it's because I have my shirt unbuttoned this whole entire issue.
Yeah.
But honestly, he sees me. Oh, God. I've got to make my move. Cue wham. Now! Kick the bucket, old man! My heart was racing, but not as much. Hey, go back. My heart was racing. The room was flooded in darkness, but not as racing as the old man was going to go flying. I already felt it. The beginning of murder. The change boiling inside me. I pushed past Marlene, bolted for the doors. Fuck, gone.
Gone.
Jack, what are you doing, boy? Untie us, Jack! Jack!
What is it? What's wrong with you? Don't you even hear us?
Can't. Stop. Gotta keep moving. Lissa broke off, and something about her breathing made me turn. I wish she brushed. Her eyes were filling, her mouth trembling. Lissa, I gotta go eat at Joe's. It was useless. How could I explain? I couldn't waste a second. If I stayed here, her very life was in danger. But if I ran,
Please, Jack, don't leave me.
I've got to, Lissa. Heaven help me. I've got to. Run, Jack, run over the candlestick. Before the moonlight comes, before everything you are, or think you are, vanishes and dies.
Past the hippies, past Felicia Hardy, past Dilbert right there.
Past the dog that belongs
Pass the
to
little Chewbacca dog.
Plus Angleton with hair.
Oh.
the little dog. Oh. Was this what my life had become? An endless race against time? The
Yes.
only person reading on this channel? A race to escape not just my past, but my future? The night offered no answers. It merely presented the questions framed in the light of an ashen moon.
No, Ash. He stayed behind.
A mile out of the city, I encountered a tidal pool. I took a dip. Exhausted, I sank to the ground. I prayed for the release of the unconscious. But it never came. The moon's up. It's already begun. And yet I wonder, will Marlene finally find her organs? Will the spell return when I change? I stop me from running free? Lord, I hope so. I can't stand it. Always fearing that this time I'll attack someone innocent. Someone like Buck. The old man in the wheelchair.
He's dead.
Oh,
Oh, never mind.
Or heaven help me, my own sister. The rush, it's starting. What a rush. I'm transforming. Getting hard to breathe. Can't.
I'm glad you said to breathe.
Ah! Roar! Second night. Fortnight. My eyes burn with the sting of dying. Tears. Tears from other life. Lost now. Swallowed into the fierce bestial darkness. Starling I ran towards SpongeBob.
Are you ready, kids?
Arr.
Within moments, I came to the city, where I found footsteps guided by a buried memory.
Hi, little Timmy.
No, Timmy, no. Don't do it. That does not look good.
We're not here, but close. Yes, I can sense her presence. So near, nearer than the forest. Later, the forest. First, the she. Hey, hey, nudge, nudge, say no more. There was a wind from the sea, bitter with salt, cutting with cold. The sea was angry that night, my friend. As I stalked to the patio, I left, but an hour before, I felt the breeze on my skin. I almost turned, then the call that was so strong. Yet I didn't. Instead, I watched that man take his clothes off.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I attacked!
The scent. Strug remembers. Strug has known it before. You are the one who helped Strug. Strug doesn't want to hurt you. But Strug must. Miss wants book, wants Strug to find it. Strug knows you from before, knows your scent. You freed Strug. Freed Strug and others. Strug must obey. Yet you took book. Strug knows you took book. And so he must fight you in third person.
His voice cut, broke. For a moment, struck no leg. His grip loosened as I struggled for freedom. With a grunt, he shifted his hold. Rawr!
Strug, sorry. He doesn't want to hurt you. But what Strug want doesn't matter. He must obey Miss. He must.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's not his wife.
Catching the green lantern, I swung
What?
to the chandelier. Upward, cleared the balcony, and whirled. What was left of my humanity felt pity for the mutated creature called Strug. Yet that emotion died at birth, leaving only anger, burning rage. Rawr!
Now, Strug, kill him now. Strug, so mindless. Why did I spare him and not one of the others? All of them stone, and only Strug to aid us now.
Strug fights him, Miss. Strug will win. He will, Miss. He will.
Perhaps if we had closed caption for the old man, we'd care what he said. But we could not afford it in this issue. Perhaps he would have, but they never gave him the chance. Dimly, I could hear the old man snarling, commanding his daughter to eat at Joe's. And equally luriless, she fired. What a dame.
Yeah.
Didn't need to shoot. Strug would have stopped him. Strug would have done what you asked. Hasn't Strug always done what Miss asked? Even when it hurt him, Strug tried. Even against him. Against the one who feeds Strug. Strug tried, didn't he?
I feed you.
Strug is also very ripped.
He is pretty ripped, yeah.
Hasn't Strug always tried?
What she didn't know is the bullet hit Strug and not me.
Oh my God. Look at
Look
his
at
butt.
What?
He's really nice.
Don't look at Strug's.
Staring at me, she shivered, and her voice, a whisper, faded. Just like all women should be, a voice that fades away. We don't.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Disavow.
She looked at her father, found the answer she needed in his eyes. Her hands went to her glasses.
This failed once before, Jack. I don't know how, and it doesn't matter. This time, you won't escape. This time, Jack Russell Terrier, you'll die.
I always
Not
wondered why.
wishbone.
I always wondered why she wore her sunglasses at night. Now I know.
Yeah.
I don't. Quiet, old man. This is my scene, my dramatic Oscar-winning performance here.
I don't get lines.
You did enough. That's why you're in that state. I ducked back, a growl rumbling from my throat. Rawr! I felt the sting of her vision on my skin. And then the sting vanished. I heard the two of them scream.
Oh, my lord, no. The mirror. The mirror. Uh-oh.
For the first time ever, Marlene realized how ugly she is in real life. Even though she's racked, her face needs a bag. Then her voice was silenced, and somehow my bestial brain knew they'd trouble me no more. For both of them, father and mutated freak of a daughter,
Racist.
the agony of life was over. The nightmare of hell was just begun. Or should it be has just begun?
It's begun either way. This isn't how I wanted to get stoned with my daughter.
Oh.
Rock on.
Ba-dum-psh.
And yet for me, it wasn't over. Something had driven me to return to Buck's house. Something my human nature denied. Even as I turned, a snarl trembling on my lips.
Ruby snacks.
Oh, Reggie.
Elma?
Come on. They're in the
Elma,
thing.
what happened?
Both Lissa and Buck had fallen unconscious. How convenient. Probably a precaution on Marlene's part while she searched the house. But now, moaning, my sister stirred, and it was not because of Buck.
Moaning Lisa?
Word.
Oh, God. Moaning Lisa. Moaning Lisa, how I met you.
And moaning her brother's name. Oh.
Jack,
Some Lannister stuff.
Her head,
Targaryen stuff.
her eyelids fluttered open. I took her a moment, or it took her a moment to focus. And when she did, she screamed.
Hmm?
Her voice choked off. A long instant. We stared at each other longingly. I felt strange, twisted, because this was wrong. This was not the Ultimate Comics universe. Almost my hand came up. Almost I touched her. Almost, but not quite. Nothing here, woman, is gone. Won't hurt me again. Time to run, to hunt. The forest at last. The forest. How I hated the city. The blare of car horns. The rushing traffic. Twice I was almost hit. Twice! I felt headlights rake my skin.
Holy
Get out.
crap! Look at that graphic, man!
Get out of the room!
It was at this moment these people wished they had switched to Geico.
Yep.
Then I was running, loping
Yeah.
through the narrow alleys, down reeking gutters, across near deserted streets. Can I use any more adjectives? At last, the city fell behind me.
Get that mutant.
He must be paid by the word.
At last, the woodlands were near. I could frolic once more. Nature!
And he still goes on.
But wait, there's more. I bent and drank, welcoming the chill river water. River water. Sorry.
Some marinara.
Letting it cleanse the stench of civilization from my matted fur. Softly from the clearing ahead, there came a sound. Rising to my feet, I moved forward. Through a veil of green leaves, the sound stopped. I entered the clearing. There, eyes gleaming soft crimson in the moonlight, a light mist drifting from its nostrils was a buck, and I was in
Oi, me?
No, wrong button.
Oh.
Bambi.
freaking yeah.
Oh no!
Our eyes met. In that moment, we knew.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Only one would live.
I was done quickly.
Oh my god.
Afterwards, I had a cigarette, and I raced through the forest. Darkness. my heart pounding, breath coming in short, violent gasps. Soon there would be wolf deers.
No! No!
I came to a barren hillside, a place I'd seen in my troubled dreams, and under a setting moon, in the company of a sleek gray wolf, I howled. Ow!
Little Red Riding Hood.
And in the morning, I started home, looking for my shirt. Nor could I help wondering how much of myself I had left in that emerald heaven, that emerald hell. I wondered, would I ever see that buck again?
Uh-huh.
Would he ever walk straight again? Would I ever know? And if I could, would I want to? Hey. I arrived at Buck. Yes, the other Buck. Soon after, he and Lissa were free. Must have blacked out when that freak grabbed me, Buck. Up until an hour ago, it was all a blank.
Sure, kid. No problem. Sketchy story, but no problem. Seems we all missed the action last night, right, Missy?
Oh, actually,
Ask Lissa. Ask Lissa, Jack. She's got a wild tale to tell. And in some ways, it almost, only almost, makes sense.
With you looking like Dr. Michael Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, I'm talking here.
The dog. Okay, sister.
I was getting ready to. I'd rather not talk about it, Buck. Perhaps
You just didn't want to talk.
Perhaps I need some time to think, figure things out. But Jack, what about Father's book?
Yeah, Jack. I told her about it, and we searched for hours.
But you never thought to look in the cornflakes?
Kid, sometimes you astound me.
Oh boy, here we go. Come on, Buck. We'll be late for your opening.
Is what?
Exactly. What?
Ah.
Buck laughed, and Lissa smiled. But neither of them would explain any further. It wasn't until we drove up in front of the Santa Monica Art Museum that I began to understand.
Cost me a sprained back, kid, but it's worth it. They're opening up about now. Should be quite interesting.
But, oh, that's you, sorry.
Buck, you didn't.
Yeah, we did. This morning.
She's my sister!
Ooh.
And there were two of the most lifelike statues I'd ever seen.
The end.
Dun dun dun.
I, Mysterio, am proud of your monologue.
I went through 3 water bottles. And I also had to use them later on afterwards.
Yeah.
My only problem, Jackson Roy Kirk, is that the were deers would not be deers. Like,
Where deer?
So, that first issue was obviously a continuation of Marvel Presents, where not Wolfman, but Werewolf by Night first truly appeared. But I was told first issue of Werewolf by Night. So I went with that, and that is why it seems in the middle. But overall, it was a fine book. Probably should read with a smaller audience. Not audience, smaller cast, but
That was fun.
And Skippertosh is right. Organs are soft and squishy. They can fit into small spaces.
You can.
But
They
not that
compact.
small.
That explains why her rack was so big.
That's where all her organs went to.
What I truly love is the deeply emotional part that Graphic Man carried throughout the middle of this book. I mean, he had to fight himself. He didn't want to fight the creature that had freed him. The emotional turmoil was clear in his performance. So, clap, hands up, hats off to you, Graphic Man. But that's it for us. We want to thank you so much for watching. We hope you had a good time. We sure did. And and just thank you. And goodbye.
Arr!